we are in the presence of a celebrity right now. This is
We are.
She did the Super Bowl commercial with Bill Murray and Jeep.
That's it right there.
This is it. This is the one that started it all.
You planned that.
No, I didn't, but yeah, that's cool.
Could we be in line for something funny to come out of the mouth?
Just might happen. What a little key.
She's the best.
Everyone deserves to feel their best. Everyone deserves to move their best and not have pain.
I'm a little upset that Ben got like 2 inches taller because he's already tall, dark, and handsome enough.
Culture is something we think about like all the time at Strookies. You know, we're all coming from different cultures.
Our comments have exploded
Through the roof.
So there you go.
Well, good afternoon, Lancaster. This is Lancaster Connects. It's Monday afternoon, September 16th. Man, we are halfway into September, few weeks into the school year. I think we're a week away from fall, like maybe less than a week away. That's just unbelievable to me that 2024 is like, we're much closer to being over than starting. My name is Ben. As you can see, I'm flying solo here. My co-host at Lancaster Connects had some truck trouble today. He's got one of these older, beautiful Ford trucks from the mid-90s. In fact, the family has 3 of them. Jeff and his 2 sons have 3 consecutive years of these old Ford trucks. They're beautiful trucks. Chris could even bring up a picture of it. But old trucks are going to have issues from time to time. And there was an issue that affects the drivability of the car or the vehicle, the truck. So he was not able to make it here today. And he was going to do the show from home, but there are people at the house doing work at the house, and it would not be a quiet work environment. So you got me flying solo. Lancaster Connects. Love to hear from you if you're watching during the show, either on Facebook, Gardner's Mattress and More Lancaster Facebook pages, or on YouTube. Same thing. We're on Gardner's channel, YouTube channel, Lancaster Connects YouTube channel. Love to hear from you during the show. Maybe you have a question for our guests. Maybe you'd like to tell us we're doing a good job, or just say hello, whatever. Give us a comment during the show. I'd love to hear from you. Got a great guest. We'll bring him on in just a little bit. I wanted to give a shout out. So this weekend, it was a beautiful weekend. Kind of wrapping up summer, right? Also baseball season is wrapping up, and the regular season just ended for the Lancaster Barnstormers. We've had Michael Richards from general manager of the Barnstormers on the show in the past. We've highlighted some of the events that happen at Clipper Magazine Stadium where the Stormers play. I realize I said Barnstormers. They're no longer the Barnstormers. They are the Stormers. So anyway, lots of cool things that they do at Clipper Magazine Stadium. The Christmas candy lane thing that they do with all the lights. Their producer Chris from Cast Ahead has it right there on the screen. They are the second half division champs, which means they made the playoffs. Yesterday, they wrapped up their regular season, and my son and I and his friend went to the game. Just kind of a little plug about the Stormers. They do such a great job there. Kids under 14, if they wear their baseball uniform, get in free. So, I bought a ticket, but didn't have to get a ticket for the kids. Keep that in mind. It's a great way to go to the ballpark. Great concessions, great people. Lots of things to do, especially for young kids. There's the RV show that they've got coming up in October. I think there's hundreds of 200 or so RVs and outdoor recreation vehicles there. But they made the playoffs. If you follow the Stormers, this could be potentially the 3rd year in a row that they win the championship. They won the last 2 years, going for a 3rd straight year. I don't know if that's ever been done in the Atlantic League, but it's a pretty cool feat if they'd win 3 times in a row. Unfortunately, we couldn't stay for the entire game. It was a later afternoon start, and we had to get home for some things we did in the evening. But they were winning 10-7 or 9-7 when we left. So hopefully they won. But great experience while we were there. We got a ground rule double ball out there in the outfield, so that was cool. The boys were happy about that. They brought their gloves. They were throwing around in the outfield. Again, just a plug for the Stormers. If you have a chance to go see them in the playoffs. I'm sure they got their playoff schedule up there on the website. Cheer them on, maybe third time in a row league champion. That would be really pretty cool for the Barnstormer or for the Stormers to say. Well, I think that's enough of Ben solo here. Let's bring on our guest. We've got a friend of mine, a friend of the business. We got Stephen Zywko, one of the more unique spellings of last names that you're ever going to find.
Yeah, phonetical. ZYW. It just rolls off the tongue.
It does. It does. So Stephen is with Compleat Restorations right here in Lancaster, and offices also in York and Allentown. We're going to learn all about Compleat Restoration. Stephen, welcome to the show.
Yeah. Thanks for having me. I will try not to take it as a personal effrontery that you're solo. I guess first impressions are not important anyway. So.
Yeah. Well, there's only one of you, so that's
perfect. Yeah, I'd hate to be outnumbered and ganged up on.
Right. So you can kind of see it in the back there. I think you're the first guest to give us a shout out on the board. Look at that. Hello, Lancaster Connects. That's awesome.
Old school customer service right there.
I love it. One of the things we're going to talk about at Compleat, you do a ton of fun things. You give back to the community in ways that I know a lot of other businesses don't. But you use that board in a unique way with your employees. What do you do there?
Sure. Yeah. So even on the first day, so we have a new employee that starts, we'll put this sign in the lobby when they come in, and it'll say, "Hello, John Smith, welcome to Compleat Restorations." Just another little touch that lets them know that they're not a number in the machine. They're actually a person here.
That's awesome. And really goes a long way to, who you are, the company culture that you guys have built over the years. And as an employee, that would feel awesome to feel appreciated, right from minute one of being an employee.
Yeah, for sure.
Really cool.
We try and open up the Compleat family to everybody so that they feel a part of.
Very cool. So we'll get into, who you are, how you got to be with Compleat Restorations, but Compleat Restorations was a company probably even before you were born. I'm assuming that's correct.
Yeah.
Because I know I'm older than you, and when I was doing some research, I saw started in 1978, and I was like, that's when I was born. So let's talk about who Compleat Restorations is, and then we'll talk about how you got involved.
Yeah, so Compleat came into inception originally as a chimney cleaning company.
Okay.
So Cliff and his wife, Lucy Ellis, started the company back then. And this was before restoration was really an industry. So other big companies like Belfour started, I think, as window awnings. Most of the older restoration companies pay their homage to a different industry that kind of lends well to restoration. And then we were on the forefront of developing restoration as an industry. So that's your emergency service, response. So water damages, fire damages, specialty cleans, that kind of stuff. And as the industry developed, we were on the pointy end of the stick, helping lead it, to where it is now.
That's interesting. So, I never really thought about that. A lot of times business opportunities present themselves, and businesses change and evolve over time. So before Compleat Restorations and other restoration type companies, like, what did people do when they had a disaster or, calamity of some kind?
Yeah. Just hope for the best, right? Because I think insurance owes its origins to like shipping, right? And that was more of a casualty than it was property insurance. And I don't think there was anything proprietary to restorations. You kind of cut out what you thought you needed to cut out and then hope for the best. And now it's less like meteorology, which is kind of a shot in the dark, and more of a like quantum physics, where we know what it is that we're doing, right? Like we're measuring, we're taking psychometric readings, we're documenting, and we're actually able to track that drying process over time. We have a lot of people in-house that have different various certifications. So it's not just, we think this is what needs done. We're able to actually make an informed decision based off of all of our training.
Wow. So how did the Ellis family then move from chimney cleaning into restorations? Was it like, I know there's a lot of like chimney fires and stuff like that. Could that be kind of like how they kind of pivoted into restorations?
Yeah, I think so. And I think it was also helped by like soot cleaning. We do a lot of specialty
Mm,
cleaning for contents. So people don't realize when you have even a very small fire within a home, that soot gets throughout everything. The smoke is just everywhere. So all of your belongings, whether it's photos or your
mm.
clothes or your mattresses, or, if you need a new mattress, I might know a guy, but you have to clean it in a safe, special way to kind of deodorize and then make it safe to be handled by small kids or whatever.
Wow, and you guys do all of that cleaning, correct?
We do, we do.
Wow. Okay, that's crazy. So, what's your background with Compleat? How did you get involved?
Yeah, so I started, oh man, about 6 years ago as a construction manager in our York branch. I swung a
Okay.
hammer my whole life. I was a carpenter. I'm passionate about seeing the before and afters, creative problem solving, the difference that comes from every day, a different type of loss, whether it's a vehicle impact and figuring out how to stabilize it and then repair it, or if it's a structure fire and figuring out what we can preserve as far as integrity wise from the original structure versus having to replace it. So I started as a construction manager, was promoted to a project manager, found my way onto the management team about 3 years ago. And then as the previous owner was looking to transition out, myself and two other members of the management team purchased Compleat in January of 23. So we've been the owners now for going on 2 years.
That's incredible. So, like, within 3 years, you were promoted to management, and 3 years after that, now you're the owner.
Yeah, yeah, rapid acceleration there. And so that's kind of how we ascended to the position of ownership. From there, we went
Yep.
through some managerial onboarding with like just how we organize our meetings and like just
Hmm.
during the full forensic audit. So effective earlier this year, I now became the CEO.
That's awesome.
Mhm.
Congratulations.
Thanks. I prefer to say chief executive officer, but my wife says it makes me sound pretentious, so I
Well, your wife
abbreviated
knows
it to.
best. We'll
Yeah,
we'll we'll,
exactly. I don't ever
we'll
argue
leave it
with
at
her. I'm that smart.
yeah,
Yep.
yeah. So Stephen Zywko, CEO of Compleat
Yeah.
Construction.
Yep. Love it. Yep.
Shout out Austin Hartman, another friend of ours from our referral group. Shout out to the Manheim Township chapter of Referral Partners Plus, RPP, as the cool people say. Steve and his crew, one of the best guys to call when a disaster happens. Plus, that suit jacket is top tier. So,
Something like.
pip, pippity poppity. You got.
Yeah.
I mean, you
I think
went
it's
all out.
subtle. Mhm. Well, I didn't want to destroy
So,
hello Lancaster Connects sign in the background, so I figured I'd tone it down.
Gotcha. So Austin Hartman from Fish Window Cleaning. We had Austin on the show probably a year or two ago. Fish Window Cleaning, super awesome company. You got a glass surface, they will clean it. Even mirrors in the house, windows outside. They do. You see some of the windows in the back here. They do some of our windows. So shout out to Fish and Austin. Thanks for tuning in, and thanks for the comment. I know you puffed up Steven there a little bit. So
Yeah, that was. I mean, I am such a sucker for compliments from Austin. Goes right to
well,
my head.
Well, maybe we'll keep talking. Maybe some more will come in here. So I've got a number of questions. What does
Rapid
a
fire, or do
CEO?
you think we're gonna? Oh, okay, go
Well,
ahead.
no,
Yeah.
no. We'll go at a comfortable pace here. Rapid fire will be the
I'm just
cocktail
used
at
to
the
the
end,
chaos, so I figured I would just field them as they
right?
come.
And we're gonna get to the chaos. So, what does a CEO at a restoration company do?
Whatever's needed. So
Okay, right.
we're still like when it rains, it pours, and I think that that's
Yeah.
literally. So sometimes when you have an influx of like a localized weather event that might cause damage to a number of houses, I can be out there extracting water. I still have an on-call rotation as a project manager, still fielding calls. Just this weekend, I had one at 3:15 came in from a hot water heater that blew at one of our larger property management companies that contacted me.
Mm,
I do a lot of the relationships with some of the like larger healthcare facilities. Most of our big clients are somebody who owns a lot of real estate. If you
okay.
average the risk of something going wrong over 20 million square feet under roof, they're calling us 2 or 3 times a day sometimes. So,
Wow.
kind of running
Okay.
point on some of those things. I still have an active project management load. I do some of the more complicated large loss with fires and stuff like that. I get to do things like this, spearhead community events. So yeah, really whatever I can to help move us forward.
Yeah. So, I mean, you always think about like doctors being on call, emergency, medical services, tow truck, whatever. But like, yeah, you are literally like 24/7.
24/7, 365. Christmas Day is always a big day. Like we're always getting losses on Christmas Day.
Wow.
So
Okay. Okay.
it's especially over this last, what was that, 2 Christmases ago, when we had that deep freeze where it got down
Oh,
into the single digits, and then we had really high winds. Every commercial sprinkler pipe in the area, it felt like was breaking. So we had 50 people out there on Christmas Day 2 years ago, extracting water, shoveling blown in insulation out into trash bags, like trying to do what we can to prevent secondary damage, because it's not like you can wait. So
yeah. Wow. So, yeah. So, how does that work then? So, I mean, there's a number of ways. I want to see how I want to kind of dig into how this
yeah.
process works. So, first of all, when somebody has an issue, be a business, residential, what do they do first? Like, what happens? What's the process?
Yeah, so it depends on what it is, right? So
Okay.
if you've got water dumping into your basement from your hot water heater that's ruptured, first step is probably shut the water off. Second step would be call us. Call a
Okay.
restoration company, call Compleat. We're gonna walk you through the next steps, whether that's going to be filing an insurance claim, whether it's going to be organizing a plumber to get out there and address the issue so that you can turn the hot water back onto your house. And then it's going to be preventing secondary damage. So we want to make sure we get up that standing water. We want to make sure that we're stabilizing the environment, preventing any kind of potential microbial growth that can start to happen within 72 hours. So
Mm.
it's triaging it and then making sure that we do as little demo as needed, but as much to ensure that it's still safe and that we're not worried about any kind of mold growth coming up thereafter.
So really, people should be calling Complete Restorations first before they get insurance involved.
It's kind of six, one half dozen of the other, whichever you feel more comfortable. Sometimes you call your insurance company and your insurance company will say, hey, I've got a relationship with Complete Restorations. We recommend you go
Okay.
through them. You can call us and then we can walk you through the claim process. Let's say there's a lot of nuance to insurance, and I feel like it's intentionally so. But like if you don't have a sump pump rider in your basement and you get like your basement floods and it's groundwater, unless you have flood insurance, that's not a covered loss. And
Mm.
we can kind of walk you through that, or tell you specifically what questions to ask either your agent or your claims representative from your insurance company, just to figure out kind of what's going on. If it's a smaller claim, give us a shout. We'll do the inspection and kind of point you in the right direction to say, hey, you have a high deductible. Like maybe you don't want to file a claim for this so it doesn't ding your insurance policy.
Hmm.
But a lot of times we're going to be that best resource for you to at least hear the information, give you a professional opinion on like kind of what the next steps are.
Right. So you're the in between
A lot of
between the
times, yeah.
homeowner or the business owner and the insurance company.
Yeah, and the insurance company, like you're generally calling a claim center that's nationally or potentially
Right.
even international. So we're your boots on the ground locally here. That we can't advocate like for coverage. We don't, but we can tell you based on our experience. Generally, we're pretty accurate as far as like, hey, this has the potential to be a coverage issue, or like, yeah, this is pretty run of the mill. File the claim, get us the claim number. We'll take care of the rest.
Gotcha. So going back to Christmas Day, you said 2 years ago, you had 50
Mhm.
50 people out there in homes and businesses trying to get frozen pipes or trying to mitigate the damage from
Mhm.
frozen pipes. So let's walk me through like that day. You get a call, Complete gets a call, and then you're reaching out to employees who are probably with their families celebrating Christmas and like, hey, we're needed. Like, what does that
Yeah.
process look like?
So we have an on-call rotation.
Okay.
Right. So at any given time, we have at least a skeleton crew that is on call that's expecting to go out.
Mm,
Right. And we exhausted those resources pretty quickly. So
yep.
then, we kind of have established protocols, policies, and procedures over time that have set up what's called a CAT protocol, or a catastrophic event. We realized pretty quickly during Christmas that we were going to have to consolidate back into our core to figure out, like all the auxiliary services that we offer kind of get put by the wayside in those events, right? So some of even the repairs or the stuff that can wait, that isn't an emergency, gets completely shut down. We bring it back into the core, and then everybody who is capable. We had, accounts payable people out there driving vehicles. We had administrators out
Wow.
there in the field.
Okay.
We had subcontractors, because it was mean, one after the next, they were just rolling in, and they were all large commercial facilities that had like, these semi-finished mezzanines or like areas in the attic that aren't normally subject to, they're outside the AC envelope, but they don't usually get below freezing. We're popping left and right. So we had everybody out there doing what we could and, triaging what losses, but we had a wait list for residential, and I think everybody did. Like, it was an absolute
that's
disaster.
crazy. That's crazy. So that's a natural event, weather event. So you guys you mentioned meteorologists earlier. You're not meteorologists, but you're paying attention to the weather.
We are. You have to.
Like tornadoes, torrential downpours. Yeah, right. So
we have a national footprint as well. Like, and
okay.
I was just on a panel, an international panel in Canada, talking with other restoration company owners about some of the specific challenges as it's related to mobilizing for a CAT event nationally. So we've sent crews to Texas, where we were able to dry basketball courts, and able to get, I think it was Lamar University, we were able to get them to keep their home opener on their court because we dried their basketball court in place. We've gone to New England, the Carolinas, Florida, and there's different challenges associated with mobilizing for those kind of things, but we have the resources here that we can help lend aid to people, where they're affected by hurricanes or some substantial flooding.
Yeah, it's interesting. I've always wondered about that. Like Hurricane Katrina is one of those in my head. Like, like everybody from the country went down there to feels like to help out. And I wondered how that process works. So yeah, when there's a catastrophic event somewhere else, you're able to obviously, if you have enough staff to be able to take care of the local stuff, you're able to help out nationally as well. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, we try and lend resources where we can, because it can't be understated, the devastation that takes place. Like Hurricane Ian Florida was absolutely devastated by that. So we were down there only for a couple of weeks, just because there's some nuancing with like contractor licenses in Florida and whatnot. So once things transition from emergency services into repairs, you have to have a brick and mortar location. But we were able to help out as many people as we could while we were down there. We sent both subcontractors and in-house laborers. We sent a tractor trailer down full of equipment to try and help as many people as we could.
So, throughout the show so far, you've mentioned a couple different types of damages that can happen. Pipes burst, obviously fire is a big one. You mentioned smoke damage. So like if you're a residential homeowner and you have a fire, can you walk us through what you at Compleat Restorations do for that homeowner?
Yeah, well, as much as we can. Short answer. Beyond that, it's whatever we're engaged to do. So we can do, really the only proprietary part of restoration is like the demo, the cleaning, and the sealing. From there, putting it back together is just like any other construction project, right? So for a lot of the people, we handle maybe just the content. Maybe we're doing the demo, the cleaning, and the content. For others, we're doing it soup to nuts. So that's come in there the night of the disaster. They've contacted us, or one of our partners at a fire company calls us and says, "Hey, can you guys come out here and stabilize it?" So the night of the fire, it might be 1 o'clock in the morning. We're going out there to board up the windows and make sure that all of their contents are secure from looting, and lock it up. A lot of times the front door has been kicked in, so we'll put a padlock on it, make sure that the premises is secure, and then kind of walk them through the steps. Excuse me. So it might be getting sure that the estimate's approved by the insurance company. From there, it's doing the demo and the cleaning, working with the homeowners for selections, and doing a full repair.
Wow. So and so that's interesting. So you would, like you said, from start to finish, like completion of the restoration of the entire home, you can oversee that too. So it's not just the cleanup and smoke mitigation and cleaning. It's to like finish paint all the walls and moving stuff back in the home, like getting the house to that point. That's awesome. Yeah.
So actually, like 51% of what we do is going to be construction. The rest of it is your emergency services. So whether that's mold or asbestos or duct cleaning or like fentanyl labs, we can render fentanyl inactive and neutralize it so that people are safe if there's been an exposure or contamination. We can do meth labs. We do even crime scene cleanup. But again, 51% of what we do is going to be construction, and that's repairing the damages caused by some kind of emergency.
Gotcha. I got to figure a big part of, especially homeowners, a big part of this, I mean, if they go through a tragedy like a fire, flood damage, whatever, like it's one of the most traumatic things maybe that person has been through in their life. What do you offer? What do you do with that person? Like, how do you talk them through the process? Because they've got this big loss, and like I'm sure in their mind they're like, "What do I do?" And I'm sure you offer some kind of service or kind of counseling them through the tragedy.
Yeah. I mean, social work is a big piece of what we do, and it's part of our core values here, where
Mm,
you have to have that empathy and you have
right.
to be able to appreciate the situation. So if this is business to business, if the Lancaster County Courthouse calls us because they've had a flood, this is matter of fact, what do we do to minimize the disruption of business?
Right.
If this is a person who's had a fire, then it's being socially conscious enough to kind of be aware of the surroundings, really take extra special care of their belongings to save what we can, particularly the sentimental stuff. Like, it's not cost effective to take your run of the mill kitchen table that might be laminate or MDF or something like that, for me to inventory it, pack it out, bring it back to my facility, clean it, store it, and then bring it back after the fire. That's not economical. It would just be easier to dispose
Right.
of it and replace it. Photographs, diaries, wedding dresses,
Mm,
antiques, solid wood furniture. So we'll actually take the time to go through with them, help them identify what's salvageable, what's non-salvageable,
wow.
what we can save for them. So yeah, a lot of it is just social work. Listening to people as they're kind of processing. Emotions can run high, and you kind of have to take that with a grain of salt to realize that maybe their frustrations aren't with us; they're with the situation in general. And then a lot of times, the smile on people's face when we're able to give
Mhm.
them back a teddy bear that their grandfather brought with them through Ellis Island, like, and seeing that is
Wow. Oh
special.
gosh. So yeah, you just brought something up there. You bring items that are salvageable, those heirloom type items, expensive items, whatever, sentimental items. You're able to bring those back to your facility, and like you said, inventory them. It belongs to this person, this home, whatever, and then you clean them up. Like, can you talk about that a little bit?
So we are full service, and some people say that they're full service, but they only kind of can do part of it. We can do
Mm,
soup to nuts again. So that's whatever was affected by disaster in your house, we have the capacity. Let's say you have an area rug from a sewer backup, from the bathroom you have in your basement. We're able to bring that back to the facility,
mm,
clean it, decontaminate it, and bring it back to you. We can help with inventorying the content. We can't assign
mm.
value to your contents, but like, we can help you through that process. So the decontamination, the dry out, the equipment set, the assessment, the leak detection, like, we really try and help the customer out however we can. And then maybe halfway through the job, you realize there's mold or asbestos flooring. So then we take care of that
Right.
as well. Like, we really just try and
Right.
make this as painless as it can be in an otherwise arduous process, as they're trying to
Mm,
navigate insurance coverage and additional
mm,
housing that's furnished, and they've got a
right.
dog, and they've got kids that are in school, and they lost their Christmas presents because it was 2 weeks before Christmas. So we try and take as much
Yeah.
stress off of the homeowner as we
Yeah.
can, and then on the business side of things, try and take as much stress away from the business owner as possible, whether that's working second shift or in off hours, whatever we have to do to minimize that disruption of business. We try and provide.
Yeah. Wow. I mean, I can feel coming through the screen, and of course, I've known you, Stephen, for the last few years here. Like, I can feel your, like you said, empathy for your customers, your clients, for these homeowners going through disasters. And I want to kind of change gears here a little bit and talk about Compleat and your staff and what you do with your staff. But like, really, you need your entire staff to have that level of empathy for the people that they're right in their homes working with these items that have been taken from homes and cleaning them. Like, you need people to have that level of care and comfort, I guess, for your clients as well.
Yeah, so through a recent process, we had core values, and I'm not saying that our previous core values were
Right.
bad. Um, they just weren't our core values. So we went through a process of discovering our core values. And you're thinking, oh, discovering versus identifying. It truly was a process of identifying them, and we figured out what it is that's a prerequisite to work here. So
Mm,
if you don't have like a sense of urgency and an adaptability to respond, like, we were just talking about this, right? Where you think you have a plan for the day, 10 minutes later, it all,
right.
goes to
It's
hell.
gone.
So if you don't have that ability to be flexible, you just don't thrive here. If you don't have that ability to be an empath to your customers, you won't succeed here. So we really take a lot of pride in making sure that our employees are participants in an embodiment of those core values that we have.
I think I read somewhere on your website that you require your staff to volunteer in some capacity. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Yeah, that's truly unique. That's cool.
Yeah. Yeah, so we're very fortunate that the community has supported us for the previous 46 years, right?
Sure.
And I think that it's important that in turn we support the community. So
yep.
in what we do every day is supporting the community, but then we try and take it that extra level. And I didn't want to. We've made a big push about reallocating a lot of the marketing dollars that were previously spent into investing in the community, because it ultimately achieves the same goal of like brand recognition. Hey, we're here, call us. We want to be front of mind if something goes wrong, but at the same time, hopefully we can enact some good while doing that. So whether it's putting a mural on the back of the building, or we're going to be volunteering, we're going to be chartering a bus to go help for the Special Olympics at State College, just to have the employees up there. We've got employees on Thanksgiving Day that are going to be making meals for.
That's cool.
I believe it's the homeless, but they're going to be donating their time at a kitchen to facilitate that. So we try and have a more robust approach to that brand recognition, and it's through community activism.
That's cool. So Chris has the mural on the screen. Tell us what that mural is, what it represents, and I know you had a cool event last month in kind of unveiling the mural, and you had some other firefighter appreciation event as well. So talk to us about the mural and that event.
Yeah. So from its inception, let me back up a step. So our building in Ephrata is right in the middle of a residential neighborhood.
Okay.
We back up to the rail trail that goes from Ephrata to Lidditz.
That's cool.
It's 12 miles long, just kind of darts through the countryside. Some beautiful views if you haven't been on it. But our building backs up to it, and they put a BMX park like right behind our building. We get a ton of traffic back there, and the building is large. Again, we store a lot of equipment, we store a lot of content, we have a large fleet, we have a large staff. So it was prime real estate to put something meaningful on the back of this building. So we were ideating on kind of what to do. We initially identified a couple artists. We ended up partnering with one and gave her very limited insight as to what we were looking for. Local iconography, make it vibrant, and include the community in it. And then, here you go.
Oh, wow.
So you can
That's
see kind of
huge.
the back of the building. Yeah, it's like 125 feet long by 25 feet high.
Okay.
And it's going to be the first of its kind that I'm aware of, where it's going to be a living mural. So we're going to be
what does that
periodically. Yeah, I'm glad you asked. I'm glad you're right to it. So we're going to be periodically inviting new artists to make their contribution to the mural. So it's multifaceted. One, it allows us to continue to support local artists in their struggle. Two, it makes it immune to any defacement that might potentially happen. So if somebody were to, for whatever reason, spray paint it, that'll be the newest section that we're going to update with a local contribution.
That's awesome. Is there anything of like unique or special significance on the mural now? I mean, it looks awesome.
Yeah. So we added the company was founded in 1978. Great year. If anybody that was born that year or anything.
You mentioned how long you've been in business. So I felt that. I felt that right here.
Eons. We have been in business for a very long time, 46 years. So we bought a 1978 pickup truck.
That's cool.
To the year that it was founded. We do like parades and stuff too. So car shows we sponsor, whatever it is. So we just purchased the truck. The truck also just made its appearance in the mural on the back of the building.
Okay. Was that, I think, a yellow truck?
There it is. Yeah.
Oh, blue? Or what is it?
It is blue. It's a 1978 Chevy square body. I mean, the thing is gorgeous.
That's awesome.
That's going to be our mascot. We named her Lucy after the previous owner. His wife's name is Lucy.
That's super cool. That's super cool.
Yeah.
Are they involved in the business at all? The original owners?
No, their son is still one of my partners. He's still an active contributor here, so he's still very much involved in the day to day. They are enjoying the retired life.
That's as they should. as they should. Well deserved. That's cool. So what was the event that went along with, so I saw you in front of the mural there, looked like you were speaking, and you had an event. Like what was the event?
Yeah, so we helped start a nonprofit called the Volunteer Firefighter Friends, and this is an
Cool.
organization that gives back to some of our first responders. And we thought there's so many different ways to help, but like some of it's already kind of beat to death, right?
Mm.
So we wanted to help the firefighters help themselves. We have
Yep.
established a team of people with experience in marketing or content generation or websites, and we help these firefighters help themselves. So a lot of them are stuck physically passing the boot around still. They can't
Mm.
solicit
Mm-hmm.
through Venmo. And like I have homeless guys that ask me for Venmo donations on the side of the highway, and our firefighters aren't able to do so. So we kind of
Right.
help them establish an online presence, get a
Hmm.
social media account, make themselves known through the media, is specifically online media, and then try and help them set up the bank account so that they can receive these donations. And that this was our kickoff event. We had Bailey Run played live.
Yep.
We had ABC was there, WGAL was there. We had some food trucks and whatnot. And this was the official unveiling of the mural, kind of piggybacking off of that otherwise beautiful event.
That's cool. I saw also in the photo Sergey and Ekaterina from Fred Astaire
Yep.
Dance
Yeah,
Studios.
yeah.
They were on the show last week.
Oh, cool.
So that's cool. So they danced there.
Yeah, they performed for us. They did a great job.
That's cool.
They are lively.
Yeah, I mean, unbelievable. I mean, they didn't do anything more than the Macarena for us on the show, but I'm sure they put on a great show there.
As long
So
as I don't have to do the Macarena.
that was not a prerequisite for being here. Thank goodness.
Okay, good. It wasn't part of the interview questions.
Right. So cool event. Who's in the photo there? I see.
That's my beautiful wife, Alicia, and those are our two dogs. Kai is the German Shepherd, and Kenzie is the Border Collie.
Okay,
She's my favorite.
and
you can tell her I said
it.
it.
out of all the people in the photo, the dog is a favorite.
Not out of all the people, out of the two dogs.
Oh,
Kai,
okay.
you
All
are.
right. Just all right. Cool. Yeah. I mean, anytime we have pets on the show, the ratings go up. So I'm glad
I wish I would have known
brought
that
them on.
because I do. So we have a wall of all the employees, and I have a picture of my two dogs up on the wall. And a few weeks back, my German Shepherd is kind of Doppler, and he runs into the wall and he busts the corner bead. So I had to go repair it. So I had to come back to the shop, and I'm getting some of my tools that I don't have at home.
Yep.
And the dogs are running around like they always do. And they got up in the mezzanine, above the warehouse, above the office space. And the next thing you know, I hear this bang, loud crash. I come running in there, and the Border Collie Kenzie is just sitting there panicked. She fell through the drop ceiling. Totally fine.
Oh no.
Just dust everywhere. I'm like, oh gosh. So I had to text that employee and be like, hey, I'm really sorry. I made an absolute mess of your office. I will have it cleaned up first thing Monday. So we did, but they're on a bit of a hiatus from coming into the workspace.
Yeah. They're maybe temporarily or permanently banned, right?
Yeah. Can't confirm or deny, but yeah, I wasn't too thrilled about it.
So I realize that's not the 1978 truck, but that's a new addition to your vehicle.
That is, yeah. Yep. That's my truck that I drive around. You'll see it floating around the neighborhood. We've got 48 vehicles between the three locations.
Wow, okay.
So you've probably seen some of our trucks floating around. The 78 is not logoed yet, so she has not made her grand reveal, but she will be.
That's cool.
In the coming weeks here.
That's awesome. So I'm glad you said 3 locations, because it's something I wanted to mention earlier. I think I maybe mentioned it, but we didn't talk about it. So Lancaster, you're in Ephrata. We talked about your location there. You're in York. You've been in York maybe 15 years or so, I think you said.
Yep, give or take.
And you're now in Allentown.
Drum roll, please. Allentown, Lehigh Valley.
Why Allentown?
So frankly, I didn't really want to go into Philadelphia.
Okay.
Yeah. So it was kind of,
Fair.
we were looking at making sure that it's all about building enough of a day-to-day workload so that we have more people on board so that we can respond to more disasters when they happen. So
Gotcha.
In order to do that, we've kind of built a really great name for ourselves here locally in Lancaster and also in York. Then it was, how can we help more people? What's the next direction for expansion? Maryland has some licensing specific things from county to county, so that kind of
Gotcha.
ruled it out. I didn't want to go into Philadelphia, and we already service like Chester and Delaware County and whatnot. So we went up
Yeah.
in High Valley, which is just a booming corridor. We have
Oh yeah.
up that way, and it's been a good investment for us.
That's awesome. So it kind of leads into the next question. Like, what's kind of the next thing on the horizon for Compleat Restorations, like 2025 and beyond?
Yeah, I mean, continuing to help as many people as we possibly can, right? And we're so fortunate that is our industry. We're not growing the top line for vanity. We're like literally out there to give people a great place to work. We have a great family here, and then be able to help as many people as we can, bounce back from tragedy, hopefully as quickly as possible. And then silver lining, oftentimes, their home is even more beautiful coming out the backside of this than it was beforehand.
Yeah, that's awesome. Something I saw, I think even just this morning, you have 2 employees that are celebrating 20 years with Compleat Restorations.
Yeah. So one of my before I landed here at Compleat, I was like a serial job hopper, and one of the questions I figured out to ask in the interviews is, how long have your employees been here? And you can tell that if you have like a high employee turnover, they don't feel valued. Maybe that could be a litany of other issues, but we have a lot of long-standing employees here that have been here for a long time. We just had somebody retire the other year who was here 42 years.
Wow. Okay.
He spent a whole career here. Yeah, so that's Marcia. That's our operations manager.
That's cool.
She was now our office manager. We surprised her with her grandson in the middle of the
Oh, that's okay. That's awesome. Yep.
Yeah. And then we also had Alicia, who's our HR and accounts payable person. Who's been here for 20 years, and she's served in. She's the gatekeeper for so many things. We couldn't do what we do without her.
Yeah.
So I thought, just a couple minutes to celebrate them.
That's awesome. And I'm sure they felt completely loved.
I hope so. Right? They probably don't appreciate the spotlight, but well.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Well, I mean, I love what you do for the community. I love what you do for your employees. I love the fact that you require the staff to give back in some way, to have some, volunteerism, philanthropic, effort, whatever. You mentioned briefly, and I think it's something coming up in 2025, the Special Olympics. Mm-hmm. I think what are you doing there?
I'm not entirely sure what we're doing other than helping where we can. So
I got you.
Go where I'm told. So I think that's coming up in the summer of 25.
I thought I saw that on your website.
State College. Yep. So we've got that coming up. We also do a lot of scholarships for local students. We have an internship program with high school and college students where they're able to get real world training through different apprenticeship programs internally, whether it's helping the VFF or it's helping us, and we pay them for their efforts. Yeah, there it is. Wow, he is on it. I should Grand Canyon. See if he pulls up a photo real quick.
No. I say you will. I guarantee it. So Chris at Cast Ahead Productions, if you need, this is just a plug. If you need a podcast producer, Steven, or anybody watching, Chris is your guy. Yeah, he will pull up the picture of the Grand Canyon. I guarantee it. He is on it. He knows.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yep. Yeah, so we just launched that earlier this year. We had a great turnout from some local students that applied. Wow, Grand Canyon.
There it is. Only all its glory.
7 seconds.
Normally comes with a sound effect. He must be kind of off his game today. I don't know, but
oh wow, your co-host isn't here. The producer's off his game today.
Yeah, I don't know.
I brought my board that says "Hello, Lancaster Connect." I'm just saying, maybe you should bring me on board.
Guest of the year, Steven. This has been fantastic. Thank you for being on the show. Thanks for sharing about Compleat Restorations and really the help that you give the community, both in the restoration aspect, the business aspect, but then the ways you give back and the ways your staff gives back. I think it's really, really cool company. Thanks for being on and sharing.
Yeah. Thanks so much for having me. It's been an absolute pleasure. I will continue to zoom in here and watch you guys as you highlight companies that are giving back. I think that's awesome. This is what this is all about, is that people in the position to enact change are the ones who bear the responsibility to do it. So we might as well, try and do what we can to benefit our community.
Well stated. I should have asked, is there anything else you'd like to share about Compleat Restorations that we didn't get to talk about?
Yeah, I would say, follow us online as we need help for
Yep.
some of these events, and as we share and spotlight different things that we're trying to do. The whole point of it is to shine a spotlight on the community and build community in certain ways. So if we're going to share something, we would love the support from those around us, whether it's in the Susquehanna Valley or the Lehigh Valley. And if there's any way that we can help, let us know.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Well, the phone number's there on the screen, 717-738-2121. We've also got the website. What is the website, Stephen?
CompleatRestorations.com. Now, Compleat, if you can see it above me there, is Compleat, because I figured my last name wasn't difficult enough to spell. You might as well misspell Compleat too.
So what, that's a good question. What is the story behind the misspelling?
Yeah, so it's the old English spelling of complete. And I think that speaks to like old world values and stuff. It just makes it very difficult to dictate my email address.
Yes.
But it makes us stand out.
Yeah,
we've been around for a while. So it's Compleat, Pleat.
Yep. They're the company that spells their name wrong. Yeah.
Whatever it takes for you to remember us, there we are.
That's right. Stephen, this has been great. Not done with you yet. We've got Connection Cocktail if you're ready.
Mm-hmm.
This is just a few. Now, this is going to be more rapid fire. This is a few questions to get to know you a little bit better. We often talk about sports on this show. Jeff is a huge Eagles fan, and they play this evening. Go Birds. Okay, so I think we're showing some love there.
I don't want to align Compleat with any potentially controversial topic, right? Having said that, go Birds.
Go Birds. All right. So is that your favorite sports team? Football is your favorite sport? Okay.
Actually, baseball is my favorite sport.
Okay. Philly. I'm guessing a Phillies fan.
I am across the board. Philadelphia, grew up, great city of brotherly love. So Sixers. I mean, I watch the Flyers, but like whatever. But Philly
I think that's. Yeah, I mean, Flyers fans are Flyers fans, but I think a lot of times Philly people are, they like those three, the first three you mentioned, and then Flyers are kind of like over here. But
Flyers I mean, I've even been to the Union games. The Union have a beautiful stadium.
Yeah, they do
down there in Chester, not the neighborhood, but the stadium itself under the Commodore Barry or the. Yeah, it's a nice bridge.
Yep. Well, we should head up a Sixers game together sometime. That'd be cool.
Oh, please. Yeah, I would love that.
Let's do it. So I'm sure you're interested in food and eating out. Do you have a favorite Lancaster County restaurant?
Was that an attack at me personally in my BMI, or was it?
I do.
No, I'll try not to take it.
I'm going to start over. Question number 2. What is your favorite Lancaster County restaurant?
Oh, man, that is tough. I am a foodie. Despite what you might think of me otherwise. Yeah, you let me set you up for that right there. God, you're so red already. I would say I really like 401 Prime for special occasions. My wife and I go in there and enjoying a nice date night. We do try and do date nights a lot. Like sushi. A big fan of sushi. We'll go just about anywhere. Oka, wasabi. But yeah, probably 401 Prime is like the coup de grace.
Very nice. Yep. All right. Last question. You have to have a preference. Turkey Hill. I mean, the Lancaster County standard Turkey Hill. Mm-hmm. Sheets from the mid-state. You've got Wawa from the Philadelphia area. And if I'm thinking your Philly preference, maybe that, or Rudders from York County. I
mean, if you had to guess, based off of how this conversation has gone so far,
you're a Wawa.
I'm a Wawa guy through and through, and Wawa Hoagie Fest down the shore. You can't beat that.
Yep. Yeah, very nice.
My waters run deep.
Your waters run deep. Yes.
See what I'm saying? You got to stick with the Wawa. It's just true to theme here.
All right. Well, Stephen, this has been a lot of fun. Thank you for being on Lancaster Connects. Thank you for sharing about Compleat Restorations and all that you do for the Lancaster community. This has been great.
Yeah, it's been an absolute pleasure. You take care.
Yeah, you too. Have a great rest of the day.
See you guys.
Yep. All right. Man, great conversation with Stephen. You can just, having this conversation, you can feel his heart for the community and for the business that he co-owns, Compleat Restorations, what they do for their staff and how their staff and they as a business give back to the community. Really, really cool. Glad we could share their story. And if you're watching this show and you represent a small business like Gardner's Mattress and More, Compleat Restorations, any of the small businesses we've had in the past, or an organization, have ties to an organization, run an organization, have founded an organization that gives back to the community in any way. These are the stories we like to tell at Lancaster Connects. We'd love to have you on the show if you're in those situations, or represent those companies. Just go to lancasterconnects.com/guest, fill out the simple form that's on there. Tell us who you are, the company, the organization you represent, and why you might be a good fit on the show. Again, we love to share great people, the stories of great people doing great things in the Lancaster community and beyond. Also, while you're on the website, visit the episodes page. I think this is episode 160 or 59 or something like that. A lot of episodes. All of those episodes are on the episodes page. Just navigate to the top of the page, click the episodes button, and you can see all of the past episodes all the past interviews we've had with local business owners and representatives of, again, organizations like I just talked about. But yeah, if you want to be on the show or you want to watch episodes, lancasterconnects.com is your place to do that. Wrap up the show here. Just got a couple things. A sleep better tip. This is usually Jeff's contribution to the end of the show. I'm going to share a personal testimony for my adjustable bed base at home. At Gardner's Mattress and More, obviously, we help you wake up happy every morning. The goal is a better night's sleep through a great mattress, but that even extends beyond the mattress to what the mattress sits on. And what I'm referencing is the adjustable bed base. And what an adjustable bed base is with a push of a button, you can elevate the head of the bed. You can make the bed articulate up, so your whole torso comes up and your legs elevate. My situation last night, I have reflux, some reflux issues, and reflux is a big reason why people don't sleep at night, because most people are forced to lay flat. I mean, just look at these mattresses behind me. They're in a flat position. So the only way to lay on that is either on your back, side, or stomach, but you're still in a flat, prone sort of position. Well, that's terrible for reflux, because when you're in a flat position, the food and acids and whatnot can go up into the esophagus and do damage in there, of course, cause heartburn and cause challenges. And it's all because you're laying flat. And obviously, there's foods involved, and you can change your diet. You can change some of the foods you eat. We actually had nachos last night for dinner as a family, and I think the onions and combination of peppers and jalapenos really were just getting to me. We kind of ate a little later at night, but I went to bed around like 9:45, just kind of laid down, and like my wind down routine, I was kind of laying flat and slightly elevated. And man, I was just feeling it last night. I was coughing. It was not a pretty scene. So I remembered, I'm like, oh yeah, my adjustable bed. I put my head up like this, and within about half an hour, I felt like completely different. And I didn't sleep like that. I knew I wasn't going to sleep like that, but I put my bed up like this. So I was already trying to relax, already trying to work my way into sleep mode, put my head up. It put me in a position where now the fluid can't flow, into the esophagus. It can't flow uphill. So it's mitigated. It basically it dissipated, and I was able to lay the bed back down, and I was able to fall asleep fairly quickly after that. So I don't know what I would have done other than like get out of bed and like go downstairs onto a couch and like sit there and maybe pass out on the couch. I don't know. But I was very, very, very thankful for my adjustable bed base last night, bringing my head up, putting myself in a position where I could get some reflux relief. So reflux is a big one. And again, there's medications. There's, you can change your diet. You can, eat maybe not as late at night. I think for me, I had a combination of multiple things, but my adjustable base was kind of my relief of that reflux, and I was able to fall asleep. So that's my sleep better tip. Use an adjustable bed base. If you don't have one, explore them here at Gardner's Mattress and More. You can learn all about that in our Sleep Better book, which is right here, sitting next to me. This is a free book with all kinds of helpful sleep tips and information. More than just a mattress, more than just an adjustable bed base. There's all kinds of sleep or tips in here that can help you get a better night's sleep beyond the products that we sell here. So we will mail you one for free. GardnersMattressandMore.com/sleep-better. Free of charge. Go there, put your information in, your name and address. We'll mail you a free copy. Or stop by Gardner's Mattress and More at 830 Plaza Boulevard, right here in Lancaster. We're just behind Park City Mall. I can look at the food court and Kohl's across the street. We're right behind Park City Mall. Stop by and pick up your free copy here. Last segment, testimonial time for Gardner's Mattress and More. These, we actually got 3 handwritten reviews over the weekend. I pulled one out here from Sharon. She shared, we always ask how our customers' overall experience is, and would you refer people to Gardner's Mattress and More? She said, a great experience, and you stand up to your word. Do what we say what we're going to do what we say. That's a core value here at Gardner's Mattress and More. She likes how our company is homegrown, and it is. Jim Gardner, much like Compleat Restorations, Jim Gardner, the namesake of the business, he founded the business in 1990, retired in 2011. I had worked for him for 11 years to that point. Jeff and I partnered at that time, purchased the business, moved to the location we're in now, and here we are. 30, I think we're celebrating 34 years this year. So, definitely homegrown. So she liked that. And she would recommend others to us. And she says, P.S. thanks for the brownies, which, by the way, if you're a customer here at Gardner's, one of the perks is you get, some special surprises in the mail. Brownies, chocolate covered pretzels, which we kind of switch out in the summertime. But you might get some goodies in the mail for being, as a thank you for being our customer. So that's what she's referencing with the brownies there. So thank you, Sharon. Thank you for your business, and thank you for the kind words in your handwritten testimonial that you mailed back. Love it. I think that's the show. Again, Stephen from Compleat Restorations, give them a like on social media. Go to their Instagram and their Facebook. Follow them, doing lots of great things with the community. If you ever have a disaster or need for their services, give them a ring. They will answer the phone and respond 24/7. They're there, 717-738-2121. They are there to help work you through what can be a really terrifying experience. And like you said, a big part of what they do is helping people through those kind of nightmare experiences. And oh, by the way, take care of your home in a comfortable manner and restore it to its original or sometimes better state. So glad to have Stephen and Compleat Restorations on the show. All right, that's it. Got a great show next week. Tune in every Monday at 2:00 to Lancaster Connects. So thanks for watching. Till the next connection. See you later.